Spartan Legion staff interviews. Behold, the green and gold.
Timothy Hargrove, marching and drill instructor.
So, Mr. Hargrove, thank you so much for joining us today. We are doing the staff interviews, and you are the first that we're doing, so I thank you for that. So, as the marching and drill instructor, what does that mean?
So for me, marching and drill is exactly what that is. I teach marching during band camp, so our traditional 90-degree leg lift, our marching style, which includes our tuck style and marking time, and then our box style, where forward marching, our glide step, the rigid. I teach all of those fundamentals during band camp and make sure they're as tight as possible before they're viewed by the band director. Then when it comes to the drill, I am the key drill writer for the Spartan Legion. So I do write the field drills, transitions, put those together, and also teach those to the band throughout the seasons.
Okay. So let's take it back a little further. Where are you from?
I'm from Portsmouth, Virginia. I graduated from Churchland High School. Joined the Spartan Legion in 2004, playing saxophone. Played saxophone for 2 seasons, then transitioned to piccolo in 2006 and was also section leader in 2006. Then went back to saxophone in 2007 and then became a rookie advisor in 2008 and then kind of transitioned into the support staff at that time. And then since then, I've just been around the Spartan Legion ever since, and then transitioned to marching and drill instructor.
Okay. So, after your marching season with the Legion, you just couldn't get away?
That is correct. So I was still in school, I was still in undergrad, but then I went to graduate school here at Norfolk State as well. It's just one of those programs that you just fall in love with and stay in love with. So it wasn't hard to not be around. And since I was still here, I was still able to use my services to assist the band in whatever capacity they needed. And then eventually just being around and assisting the band directors has led me to where I'm at now.
Okay. So I saw recently in the pregame, you guys made the NSU. Mm-hmm. That was definitely different. Was that your idea?
Of course, pregame is one of those things that we've done before, years and years and years ago. And NSU was definitely a staple to spell out. We've spelled out numbers before as well, during pregame and during halftime as well, when the school has turned certain years and things like that. So I won't take credit for that particular piece. It is harder to see in our stadium when we spell letters because our home side is a little shallow. But other than that, I felt it was a great opportunity to present a different type of drill as well.
Yeah. So do you have more freedom in pregame, I would guess, than a halftime?
The drill for us is all about presenting the score. So depending on who's playing what parts is what's going to be presented in the forefront. So it doesn't hamper us. We can still be creative in different ways. We just tend to make sure it just stays traditional to what our Legion family would be used to. And then of course our fans as well. We certainly can, step out the box and do really whatever we want it to do. But I feel it's important that we keep certain traditions the same just because of who we are and how people perceive us, especially with our drills. And they're very technical as far as musician or as far as the music is concerned. So lots of technical parts in the music, percussion has a lot of technical parts. So I try to make sure those drills are presented in a way that you get to hear all those parts depending on who's playing them, as I mentioned before.
Okay. What made you qualified, so to speak, to create these drills for the Legion on a collegiate level?
That's a good question. It's not like a degree you get in drill writing. It's something you have to learn. But when I was in undergrad, I was pretty good with reading the drills and assisting to teach the drills. Even in high school when we did drills, I understood the concepts and how to read the drill chart, understood the football field, the grid, as we call it. So of course, what happened leading me into this position was the director, Mr. B, he was handwriting drills, and I had the Pieware, which is a drill writing software, and I took one of the drills and put it in the computer, and kind of went from there. And then the busier he became, I took it upon myself just to start writing drills, and that's kind of how it led to this. And of course, I'm still learning. I learn every day, every year, something new, new things to do. As the band continues to grow, it takes a different level because you have to try to place everybody in particular spots and on the field and make sure, again, that what we want to present is how we want to present it. Make sure everybody has space to twirl for the Silkettes and the Spartan guards, making sure Hot Ice has enough room to dance. So it definitely takes knowing the field, and I've always known that. So that's kind of how it happened.
How do you compare your drills that you're writing now compared to drills of the past, 80s, 90s? Are they similar, or do you think you're stepping out the box and doing other things?
So the drills just depends on the band director, honestly, and their vision. So those drills from the past weren't like ours, but so much has evolved in the band world. So the drills we do now, again, started when Dr. O'Neill Sanford came to Norfolk State in '98. He kept what they had before, and then he kind of morphed it into the Big Ten look, and you'll see that in that symmetrical look. And there are different styles of drill writing, but again, we just tend to have that symmetrical look on both sides. So I won't say we stepped out the box. I just kept what I was taught and known for here, and just kept it going.
Okay. When it comes to the drill, do you have a favorite drill that you've written?
I've written quite a few. So there are quite a few I enjoy, but when we did go to the Rose Bowl, it was a good question. When we went to the Rose Bowl, that drill, our New Jack show was something different. How we had percussion and Hot Ice feature, and then we had to transition them out of the picture to go back to our traditional look. So that was definitely a show, and even the song that was chosen was different for us to drill to, and it ended up being an amazing show. Some of the other ones for the big battle of the bands we've been in Houston and Atlanta, I assisted with Queen City drill. So those have been some of my top shows for, honestly.
Let's talk about your first drill. Do you remember your first drill?
My first drill would have been by myself, would have been the Queen City Battle of the Bands, but it totally wasn't mine because I took concepts that Dr. Sanford used. When we did Queen City in 2017, we did Jupiter. So the band had already drilled to Jupiter years prior, so I took concepts from that drill and put it with the current band that we had at that time. So that would have been my first drill that I wrote, per se, but I wouldn't take the full credit for it. And honestly, I couldn't remember like my first drill because it's been, close to 10 years now. So that's a tough question too.
Do you recall how you felt when your first drill was actually being drilled, when people were actually doing the drill? Were you nervous? Were you excited?
It's a good feeling to always see your work put on the field. For any coordinator, percussion instructor, dance instructor, flag instructor, seeing the hard work that the students put in to put your work on the field or something you assisted with is always special. So I don't get nervous because we practice hard enough that it's almost like second nature. But seeing it on video, I always ask our media team for like the drone footage or the up high footage because you can always you have a chance to observe it, review it, critique it. But it's always great to see it go from paper to computer to real life. And shout out to UDB, Ultimate Drill Book. We transitioned to using that technology to help teach the drills, and it's been an amazing tool to use. So I also recommend any high school or college band to invest in UDB to help your band learn drill as well.
So let's just say Norfolk State no longer existed as of today, and you desire to continue to write drills on a collegiate level. which marching band would you try to write for?
Oh, that's a tough one. I don't know if there's one band in particular I would work for. And being honest, I don't know if I would want to work with another collegiate band. I have written drills for high schools, and I probably would stick to that if Norfolk State didn't exist. I would probably still be involved in marching band, but it probably would have been at the high school level still.
Okay. Staying similar to that topic, is there any other collegiate drills that you look at, not for comparison, but more of inspiration or just entertainment?
I honestly enjoy various HBCUs, marching band drills. Of course, some from the other conferences, the SWAC. There are bands in CIAA that I follow, and then of course, even with PWIs, there are lots of bands who drill well, who do varying designs and amazing work on the field. So I definitely watch and just see what they're doing, and just to enjoy it. It's more so for entertainment, because our style is our style. So I wouldn't want to incorporate anything that would take away from our style, because then that's really when, for me, alumni would probably be like, what's going on? It's totally different than what we're used to. Now we've done, like I said before, we've done some different things, but when it comes to incorporating things that we normally wouldn't do, that it does take a little bit of, I won't say courage, but it takes a bit of, step out the box and get everyone on board with it. So,
yeah. So what direction would you like to see the drills go for the Legion in the future, whether it's you or you retire and someone else comes on?
Just to continue that excellence in drill, marching, the energy, the intensity, presenting the music that's written. I think that's the biggest part when it comes to drill. And, you can watch other bands and be entertained by their shapes, but oftentimes you can't hear them only because, again, of the horns. Whether it's trumpets, a mellophone, baritone, trombone, if they're not facing you, you don't hear the sound or the song as often, because their sound is going everywhere. So for us, I would just want us to continue that tradition of excellence that has been started here many, many years ago, and keep it just evolving to whatever that may look like.
Okay. How is it working with Mr. B?
Well, I love Mr. B. As a student of his in the marching band, he was always like the cool uncle. So, and it's still the same way. He's still very cool, laid back, and working with him is awesome. It's just one of those things. It's growing up here with the Spartan Legion, like I said, even in high school, growing up around the Spartan Legion and now being on the staff, it's still surreal, because I definitely look up to him and Miss Sanders in a way that is just, I'll say this, I have so much respect and admiration for both of them. So I really do anything for him. So I love working with him and Miss Sanders.
Okay. So with this being the 50th anniversary of the Legion, is there going to be anything special about the drill or formations that we could look forward to?
You just have to stay tuned and find out. We do play South Carolina State, and South Carolina State is known to travel. So of course, halftime may be shortened, because we do want to allow them time to perform as well. So, we're still developing the homecoming show. So, just gotta stay tuned and see what we do for the 50th. But we do have some things planned and ideas. And the good news is, even though it's the 50th year, we can always celebrate the Legions before us anytime we want to do that.
So sticking with the 50th conversation, what does the 50th mean to you? 50 years of Legion.
50 years is definitely special. We've had a band before the Spartan Legion. We're celebrating the 50 years of the Spartan Legion being the name of the band. But we truly honor and respect all those who came before us, because they did set a standard that was picked up by Mr. Fears, known as Chief, and pushed forward even more. So for me, it's special because there are still people who marched in the band when it was named the Spartan Legion and when we got section names. So knowing they're still around and knowing they're still proud of the program that they once marched in, it means the world. I love the Spartan Legion. It gave me opportunity to grow as a young man and to a man. Lots of discipline, the enthusiasm, the tradition, the legacy. You know, you really learn to love Norfolk State even more being in the Spartan Legion. So I'm excited to celebrate and to see all the family come out during homecoming and just throughout the entire season, honestly.
Okay. And do you have any words of wisdom for inspiring drill riders?
Take time to learn the craft, learn what you want to do. There's no right or wrong way to write drill. You see it all the time in various bands, whether it's HBCU, PWI, DCI. There's really no right or wrong way. It's just all depends on who you're writing for and the direction that particular band director or coordinator wants to go in. But I would say just learn, watch all types of bands, get ideas and concepts and kind of morph them into your own. I always tell people who want to write, don't start with technology, handwrite. So get some drill chart paper and physically write it down, put those dots on the paper, and try to get from one picture to the next picture. And that's really what drill is, getting from one picture to the next. So handwriting first, and then if you have the means to use technology, definitely use technology as a next resource.
Okay. All right, sir, I think that about does it, man. We truly appreciate your conversation and taking time out to speak with us today. Is there anything that you would like to say to our audience?
Continue to tune into the Spartan Legion. Continue to support us. Our students deserve the best, and with your help and support, we'll continue to put the best product out there. This is a big year again for the Spartan Legion. So we hope to see everybody come out to these home games, not just for us, but also, support athletics and, behold the green and gold.
Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Make sure that you realize that when you see the drills and the patterns and the formations on the field, it is this man who's behind it. Thank you again, Mr. Hargrove, for coming out, and we'll see you later.
Yes, sir.
This is Sparta!